Yeah.
Because then I could just...
so Wander.
Yeah.
What's the lamest way you've seen somebody strike out with a girl?
Okay, so I'm gonna preface this by saying he actually did score the girl in the end. However,
okay, good.
So this
Took another try.
Well, this guy thought motor oil in his hair was like attractive.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Huh.
Yep.
Was he right?
No.
Oh.
He cleaned up better, and she got
Okay.
fatter, so I think her standards went down.
Oh.
So,
Damn. That's fired.
this was my ex. So.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Catharsis. I've got Shell now, and it's like, yes, scored. Okay.
I wonder.
Of course, now Shell is like beating me in our weight loss non-contest, and I'm like, fucking goddamn.
All right. Anyway, continue your story.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Dude was creeping. Oh wait, no, he did a lot of other things. Like he would actually creep on like multiple girls at once.
Nice.
He took panty shots of my roommate.
Yeah. So he was this guy definitely was bad news. But so we were throwing a dance party as like a fundraiser thing, because my next door neighbor was like a professional DJ. And like I don't know why he went to college, because it ruined his DJ career. But he was really good at what he did comparatively, and he ran a pretty good show. But so this guy, so the DJ was DJing or whatever, and the rest of us were just kind of working the show, making sure people are having a good time and stuff. And this guy, I don't know why, but he was in charge of being the camera guy. And
this is motor oil guy, right?
Yeah, motor oil guy was camera guy for some odd reason. And so he was taking, just various pictures of attendees. And we were flipping through the pictures later, and like, I'm gonna say there were about 12 panty shots of this one girl.
Oh.
Yeah. Who proceeded to end up dating like one of the other freshmen at the time, and stayed together with him for pretty much the rest of college. But it was just one of those where it's just like, like we were looking at the pictures and it's like, this is kind of unrecoverable. And that was kind of the point where I was just like, I'm never talking to this guy again. And that was okay.
Weird.
But yeah, so he thought motor oil was okay. He would he would invite freshman girls into his room because he had a really nice like multimedia setup.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. And so he would he found out one of them was like particularly, I'm gonna say, excitable. She would scream if you like spooked her while watching a scary movie, and she'd scream like bloody murder. So one day
the RAs probably really appreciate this.
Okay, so
half the people on that floor were utter scum because they referred to freshman girls as fresh meat. I was absolutely disgusted by most of his friends.
Well, at that point, I was not really friends with them anymore.
It's just, imagine if you brought the worst, arrogant, self-centered douchebags in the universe and put them all onto one floor where they proceed to compete with each other for everything.
So basically, it's just, oh, goodness.
And everyone. Okay, not everyone, but you get what I mean.
Close
yeah.
enough.
There's
And
a lot
the girls
of, like...
that hung out with them, some of them were no better. There was one that flat out told Wander, you could have done better.
Yeah.
When he and I started dating. And...
What?
Yep.
But she had a reputation of getting around, so what are they saying?
Oh, gotcha. So, yeah, it doesn't... there's a very big difference between somebody having... saying that, and then somebody who's a town bicycle who says that.
Wait, a town bicycle?
What? She doesn't get it.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah.
like something your grandma would say to insult somebody.
No, well, I mean, he is Canadian. Let's give him
Right.
some credit here.
Right. I know what I'm gonna make. Finally figured it out. I don't know if I can
Did
do
you
it.
now?
I probably don't have the colors for it.
What did I get?
And sorry, I was just creeping.
Oh.
I would rather Wander not relive those times.
No, but
Because they were pretty bad for
Bird
me,
was
too.
asking for, like, the worst way a person has ever struck out, and everything
what do you
that
mean by
guy
struck out?
with, like, a girl, like, you know,
Unlucky.
yeah,
As in, like, has no game.
yeah, this guy had no game, Shell. You met him once. He had no game. It should have been pretty obvious.
I just always knew he was a creep.
Yeah. It's about the same.
I think I'm all set.
Dude's listening to
Alright,
this.
that's good.
Motor oil in your hair. It's not attractive. Creeping on girls. Not attractive. Okay.
Hang on. Alright.
Batbeard, how are things going on,
I haven't tested it, but
Going
a fair
better?
bit better.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Bird.
Yep.
When you get the chance, you wanna help me out with my endeavor?
I can, yes.
Okay.
Also, the one thing that annoyed me about that floor as well is that they were all clearly trying to be nice guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had a really good friend that, well, two very good friends, guy and girl, and the guy never ever got the girl, and he was always super bitter about it.
It's not
Yeah,
even that
happens to the
though,
best of us.
No.
because they would try to break each other up if some couple started dating. It was just
That's
horrible
pretty bad.
environment, which is why I was
Weird.
glad that I was an off-floor person dating Wander, because
Yeah, I don't have the colors to do this.
I wasn't part of that drama for the most part.
Let's try it out.
Actually,
I
did
cannot
Wander
make the
tell you
pig
guys
face.
about the tree that they made?
The what now?
No.
They had a whiteboard where they graphed everyone's relationships and like who was with who. And like
What the hell? This doesn't
I-
sound real.
it was
was
a
real.
terrible floor.
I could get pictures of it if I wanted to. I think I still have access to the private multimedia server. Not
Whoa,
that I
what?
go
They
looking.
put it up on a server?
Oh yeah, they'd take pictures of this shit and archive it. It was gross.
Why?
Well, I'm glad you were
Wow.
never put on that tree.
Two
Why?
quotes. It was gross.
They called things. I mean, I would call it floor cest, essentially.
Huh?
Horses?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Because everyone would get together, break up, get together with someone else on the floor. There were so many people that had their exes around them 24/7 with other people that were their friends or their enemies or frenemies. It just
Uh-huh.
X, Y,
horrible
or Z.
environment.
Oh. Jeez.
So,
Sounds terrible.
off topic, but
Yeah,
this
sorry.
vehicle. I'm hitting this switch, and it toggles them to turn 30 degrees. Then I
Okay.
hit it off, and they don't stop.
Yeah,
Means I
so-
let
cannot
me see.
turn the other way.
Oh, you're, can I try? Just real quick to see what happens?
Yeah.
Well, right now
Hey.
they're not doing anything.
No, they're going
They're
30
busted.
degrees one way
They're-
or the other.
They're busted right now. Well, yeah, that's because you. Okay, Batbeard, go look at how you programmed it again, because you goofed.
Oh, yeah, I see what he did.
Yeah.
Okay. You need
You-
to put
What's
it in
the
the one
programming?
slot, not the
Yeah.
start slot.
You
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah, you just made the basic mistake. You didn't do anything
Yeah.
bad. Just move them over
Yeah, you
one.
need to bump them over one slot to your right.
Who put the wongle here?
I don't have any wongles in my workshop. Alright, Effie, you got any good, strikeout stories?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
You don't have to tell them
So
if they involve
really
you.
thinking about it, I think I've only got one, and that was just simply because I screwed up.
Oh, you don't have to tell that story if you don't want to.
Nah, that's all right. So long story, honestly, long story short, she wanted to meet up during the evenings. I wasn't so happy about that. Like late evening, like 12 o'clock plus. Was not happy about that.
Okay.
So she didn't like that, and she decided it was over at that point.
I don't. That's just depressing, man.
Yeah.
That's not a got no game story.
Well, you said struck out, so.
No, we're talking
that's
about.
really the only thing I've got. I've not really pursued anybody.
Who else
really.
was there?
And you really shouldn't. I think that the best way to find relationships is to become really good friends with someone, possibly even best friends.
No, that ends up being friends and friends only.
Yeah, I'd rather not get friends.
I have lived the worst friend zone experience possible. Maybe 5 girls through college, and they're all my friends. Success. Nothing more.
I think the issue is that like dating in school and dating in real life, dating outside of school are so vastly different.
Yeah, like you can't date someone in the same school as you.
School's an awful place to like meet people like romantically.
Yeah.
I found that the opposite is true with at least my friend group. Almost everyone that I know that is currently married or in a long-term relationship had met their relationships, their partners in college. And the people
now here's the question.
Yeah.
Are they artists?
No.
Because it's very different for artists than it is for...
it's not actually.
Artists,
yeah,
but
that's
at least in my personal experience. I've seen that artists just generally have a better connection in school than outside of school.
Well, my friends, let's see.
That's what I've seen,
veterinarian with a IT, engineer with a pharmaceutical. I don't know. I think part of it was my friend group was all a lot of nerdy girls, and so they have a lot of shared interests. I know that one thing that Wander had always complained about was that, he never met anyone that liked sci-fi fantasy films and play video games and such, so...
Yeah, see, that's one of the rarest things to find around here. Like, I cannot, for the life of me, find anybody who likes anything to do with electronics or technology or anything of the sort.
I think it's because you have to be raised with it, for the most part. I mean, my cousins who are female that didn't grow up with, like, sci-fi fantasy action video games, they grew up with the games that they would play on their phone, like Candy Crush and stuff. So it's a different level. I do wonder sometimes if it's having male siblings.
That definitely helps.
Yeah, that probably makes a big difference.
Because in the end, I found that even though I was given a lot of girl-oriented toys, Barbies, whatever, I was made by Barbies into like Power Rangers and Knights and stuff. But that's like I would have to scrounge around for materials to make new outfits for them because I'm like, I can't have my characters looking like this. But the thing was, I would receive the same kind of toys that my brother did, and I would actually use them more than him. So, funny things like that. But yeah, I mean, we had an Atari growing up, and Nintendo 64. Played on the PC.
You're bragging.
Sorry! I also saw, like, a lot of 80s films when I was young. Like Alien when I was 4 years old. I probably shouldn't have, but...
Wow.
My dad's like, you have to see the chest burster scene. From that
anyway,
like, yes, aliens.
I think that, I mean, not like I have any experience with this, but like, it's a hell of a lot easier to date as an adult because you have access to places that like people go to specifically to meet other people to date. Like going to bars and stuff like that.
You see,
I don't know. That's kind of where I draw the line, though.
But are bar people the best people? Yeah,
I wouldn't. If I did go to I don't go to bars. I don't. But I don't think I would want to meet someone there, honestly.
Yeah, none of my friends who are outside of school go to bars, and the only way that I think many of them will be able to meet potential SOs is if they join some kind of extracurricular club, like the cosplay troupe club that we had at RIT, or What other ones?
Well, now people know where I went to college.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
Pretty sure you've talked about it before.
you knew I came from Rochester.
Nope.
Nope.
Lived all my life
I
in
have
Rochester.
never mentioned what college I went to.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. Well,
I
now,
wasn't paying attention,
now,
so
now
I didn't.
people will discover the identity of the stupid floor that you were on, potentially.
Well, now that you said that, they will be able to.
Yeah, no, they're gonna be explicitly
And the
trying to
man
find
with
it out.
greased hair, they'll find him and make him drink motor oil.
I've always actually wondered,
Ew.
specifically, if
This looks stupid. Ah!
Wondered
Losing my
explicitly if,
I've always wondered if people from that group have ever found my stuff. But at this point, it's I've been out of there for so long that even if they did, they'd have no idea who I am.
Ah.
Well, isn't oh no, educational records aren't public record, are they?
Nope.
No. Especially not in college. Those are FERPA.
There we go.
Which means you ain't touching them. So Ladybird thinks that I have a really good answer for the strikeout question, and I absolutely have no idea what she's referring to.
Well, I mean, are we talking about the chick that like totally
Stare at
bungled
you.
her attempts at wooing you?
Oh, you're
Bye.
talking about the Matrix?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, the other chick. Ladybird was telling the
Crazy
story
one.
like the other day.
Well,
Oh, her. Oh,
the
yeah.
crazy chick who kept hitting on you even though she knew that you and Ladybird were dating.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for her to say in chat what the story is so I can tell it.
Fuck. What is going on? Oh no. No. Ah!
Why are you making the very hungry cat or killer?
What's happening? Is it
I'm
broken?
just trying to decorate my thing. But I put it on auto thinking, yeah, this'll work.
Oh, someone in chat actually went to MCC. I had a couple of friends go there.
The guy who asked Ladybird out in the library. I mean, that was pretty awkward, but that wasn't, like, the awkwardest. But I guess I can tell that story. So, Ladybird and I were chilling out in a library, and, she was working on homework, and I was just like, I don't know what I was doing. Probably just, like, checking emails or something. Just kind of, like, waiting for her to finish working on her homework. And, I'm just, like, sitting there, minding my own business. Ladybird's sitting there minding her own business. This dude shows up and just goes sits comes over to her.
In between you guys?
No. Ladybird is sitting down. The dude kneels next to her and actually ends up being shorter than her, which is really funny. So Ladybird is looking down at this guy for the whole conversation, and I was just like, ooh, to begin with. But the second he came over, I was like, he's gonna ask her out. And I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. So
you let him get rejected. Harsh.
Oh, this is a rejection story.
It's a good experience.
We're telling strikeout stories.
Yeah.
So they're all rejection stories. So anyway, this dude comes up and is like, hey, you're in my same class, right? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, that's cool. And then they make chit chat about the current assignment or whatever. And then he's like, you like opera, right? And I was like, oh, there's the sinker. Yeah. He did do some research. He knew things about her interests and her likeses. And so
Alright.
yeah, her things that she likes. Anyway, so he's like, you want to go see an opera later? And Ladybird was just like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be out of town when that happens, or something like that. Which was true, actually. She was gonna be away on a trip during the date of that opera. And the guy was like, oh, that's cool. And then he was like, I just figured I'd ask, and then he got up and left and just vanished. We never saw him again. And we both immediately after that were just like, that guy handled that rejection very, very well. He was very cool about it, just like politely excused himself and like didn't bother her. Like, that's a mature person, and I assume he's probably doing well now.
But did they know each other well beforehand, or was he just out of the blue?
They had never spoken beforehand.
Why?
Oh.
Like,
Huh.
why would anyone attempt that?
Because ballsy.
Because I think that's a perfectly fine way to ask somebody out.
Yeah. For frame of reference, I was the first person and only person to ever ask Shell out, and we'd known each other for like
hey.
a year.
So,
Unless
the
there's
prob-
somebody I don't know about.
no, okay, so this is the thing.
Dun-dun-dun.
In elementary school, obviously, nothing's gonna happen then. We're all kids. So, middle school...
Who the hell's talking about elementary school?
Shell
You
is,
just, like,
apparently.
You jumped way back in time.
Okay, so then middle school, some of my friends actually were dating, though it was things
Well,
like...
it's middle school dating. It doesn't count.
Right, in a way, though they were dating a long time.
Yeah.
But so apparently, so I was somewhat a teacher's pet. It's just it's one of
Really?
those- yeah, I always loved answering questions, especially regarding literature and such. I always had these
Shell would be
verbose
inconsolable when
explanations
she
for the
thought her
meaning
teachers
of
were
minute
disapproving of what she was up
details
to.
and like Edgar Allan Poe's pieces and stuff. So, yeah. And I mean, some of the people in the class would be bored, but a lot of my friends were like talking with various guys and they're like, wow, Michelle always comes up with like the coolest answers to these questions. It's so cerebral, man. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. Your impression of like high school and middle school guys is hilarious to me because it sounds made up.
okay, so I was in my own little world. I had actually decided that I wanted to be as much like a Vulcan as possible. So, you know, no time for, you know, emotional entanglements, and you know, must adhere to a
Bird-
life of logic.
Bird,
And
you were asking for stories about people that have no game. I summoned one.
hey, you. So, but.
I think we've killed Bird. Bird, Earth the bird. You're
Okay.
safe now. It's fine.
So the thing was, these guys were afraid of me, and these were like the like sort of the.
I wonder why.
My name is Raven Darkspear. The boys in school, they just are afraid of me. They don't understand me. That's all I can think of right now.
The thing was, like, my friends would. What's so funny?
I don't know anymore. I got a
I
headache.
can't make this too many. I can't focus on anything tonight. I'm just gonna tell stories, I guess.
So my friends would pass notes in class, and I remember my one friend gave me a note specifically from this one guy talking about, you know, the cerebralness of my answers in class, and he's just like, whoa, you
Boys
know.
thought my answers in class were very cerebral.
So
They were right.
So, and the thing was, because I had this history of growing up with a lot of old sci-fi films and video games, whenever we all gathered around at lunchtime and whatnot, that would often be a topic of conversation. I mean, as you guys have probably guessed by now, I tend to prattle on and on about things.
No, I
And
never
go-
guessed.
And, you know, I can say, like, blow for blow, like, a synopsis of a story. It's sad. But in any case, I knew of at least maybe 2 or 3 guys in high school that were probably interested in dating me, but I would never date them because they were.
The boys were always
Hard.
interested in dating me, but I would never date them. I'm sorry. It's just your
It
story
writes
sounds
itself.
like fan
Stupid
fiction.
boy.
It writes itself, Shell.
It's because
Because they were so stupid.
I was about to say that they couldn't match my conversational skills, but yes, that is a part of
Sure.
What is this?
So basically what you mean is they couldn't just prattle off.
No.
Well, okay. So I'm just embarrassing myself.
Yes.
The thing
Yes.
was, these guys were the meek
hilarious.
ones.
Keep going.
The ones that my friends would often get into arguments with, the same kind of guys who would later become the arrogant floor members of Wander's, entourage. They were the ones where they would try to trample your opinions and talk right back to you, and it was really hard to hold civil discussions. So those guys, it's just like, nah, they're just trying to prove something. So obviously
They're trying to compensate for something, clearly.
I don't know. So yeah, no interest in anyone through high school either. And so then college comes around, and I was pretty much holed up in my room most of the time.
I wooed her with my ginormous arm.
What? What does your arm have to do with anything?
So the first time we met.
What doesn't have to do with anything?
First time we met, I had my arm was like severely infected from a yellow jacket sting, and so like her first impressions of me was, who's this guy and why does he have this ginormous
He was
arm?
late to class. I was unimpressed.
Oh, okay.
All right then.
And but as time went on, because he was always the last one in the classroom, I would tend to sit in one of the desks by the end next to this one girl, and we would talk a lot about anime and video games and such. And the other spot next to me would be empty until he arrived. So he would often sit there. And eventually, you must have overheard our conversations, right? Because did you try butting in at one point? Or somehow I got to talking with you? Maybe the girl was absent a couple of classes. So I don't know. Somehow we got to talking, but there was also an instance in which our teacher assigned us one of our first in-class portraiture assignments, and she's like, okay, draw the person sitting next to you. I think the girl didn't happen to be there that day, and he
in
was
Shell's
on the
mind,
other
just heard
side.
like, near, far, wherever you are.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Ignore him.
So
Yeah.
So we draw one another. It was actually quite funny because at one point the teacher came over and she goes, "You're not drawing her eyelids properly." And then she looks over.
She's got jacked eyelids. It's weird.
It's called okay, so it's called hooded eyelids. It means that you just don't see the upper lid when it's folded back into the socket.
Oh.
So it looks like I have big Disney eyes or something. I don't know how you describe it.
So anime eyes, I guess.
I don't know.
Not quite. No.
But I just don't have the fold for the lid, kind of thing. So she's just like, "Oh, okay," and that was an interesting little tidbit there. But yeah, so we actually talked quite a bit about Knights of the Old Republic. I remember especially. What else did we talk about? Just Star Wars novels, movies. I mean, admittedly, it was probably me prattling on to him, and he tolerated it.
Like now.
No comments.
And then the thing was, but he was the one that started annoying me on IM. This is when I had AOL IM. How did you have IM?
What?
Yeah. How did you have an IM?
How old are you two again? Because AOL shut down. What? In like.
I still use AOL. It has never shut down.
AOL shut down a really long time ago. I mean, not that long of a time ago.
AIM kept going.
Yeah, AIM stuck around for ages.
Yeah.
I still have an AOL email, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
My parents still use it.
That's like loyal to a fault. Goodness.
Well, you don't
Lazy
get rid of like
to a
your
fault.
most useful email.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's my sort of junk email now. It's what I used to sign up for stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
That's okay. That's a bit more understandable.
Still useful.
But it used to be my primary and sole email up until Wander convinced me to get Gmails.
The whole email. Just picturing like James Brown being like, "Bah! Email!"
This email hurts my soul.
So how did you find me on AIM?
We exchanged it for whatever reason.
So you had one?
Yeah, I'd had one since high school.
Yeah, I'd had my AOL account since middle school.
All right.
Yeah, so...
So how are you guys doing on your builds?
Well, like I said, I'm done. I'm
Get
good.
up there! Give me
Wander's starting to
email!
look like a monster
Get up
truck.
there!
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I'm
essentially...
pretty good.
He kept pestering me on a nightly basis while I was on AIM. I'm like, okay, I'll humor him. I will talk to him. But because he was always multitasking, I could write paragraphs of information, and he would respond with a couple of sentences, and I actually thought we were carrying on a conversation.
You thought you were?
Well, we were, but it turned out that it wasn't at the pace I thought it was. I thought that he was diligently waiting there, reading every sentence. But no, he would just wait for the new message to come in, scan through it, and then write back to me immediately.
I read.
Whereas I
really
was
fast.
solely at the computer paying attention to the chat. It's hard for me to multitask like that. But yeah, we would spend hours every night doing that because my roommate, she didn't have classes until the early afternoon, but mine were in the morning. And unfortunately, I couldn't go to bed when she was still on her computer and such, so I
Gotcha.
sort of sleep
that's a
deprived,
good
stayed
idea.
up late.
Yeah. This reminds me of a random little tidbit. The first sign that I knew that, oh, shit. Why? Oh, no. You boondoggled it.
I wanted to try a
Alright.
chompy. He doesn't really chomp.
Worked. No.
No.
It's more like crushy. Anyway, the first time I knew, or the first sign I had that like Lady Bird and I would like work out was actually but way before we started dating, like when we were just talking, and we were just
Pretty
texting each
presumptuous,
other.
Don't you think?
What?
Pretty presumptuous, don't you think?
I was right because I'm right about everything. So shut the hell up! I'm telling a sweet ass story here. Anyway, so yeah, so we were texting or whatever, and like we were texting really late in the night, and I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, good night. And then she sent me a text the next day, like at like 9 a.m. or something like that, just saying like good morning, and then she like started resuming our conversation, and I was like, huh. Nobody has ever like sent me a good morning text before. And then I was like, oh. Okay.
Score!
So now the
This
question becomes,
Hey.
at what moment did you know she was going to be the one you'd marry?
I don't know if I can really point to a specific moment.
Well, you said you knew from the very beginning, or even before
Well, I
you
knew
started dating.
we were
that you
going
two
to,
would
like,
work
that there
out,
was
so-
something there, not like, this is the woman that I will wed and have babies with because she said good morning to me. Like, if
God,
that's
that is
thing,
the most
then,
white
like,
knighty, like, friend zone
I was gonna
nonsense.
say, like, that is the most, like, milady thing anybody could ever do.
Effie.
Could you
What?
imagine if people actually proposed to one another with, I want you to bear my babies?
That.
What?
No, it was more
be
things like,
terrible.
oh, it would be wonderful if I could sit beside you.
I'm just gonna go over here now and pretend I didn't hear that. Like, that is the most awkward thing.
That
You could ever say to
is!
anybody.
Which is why...
I mean, that's what dating was like in the 1800s. That and massive amounts of prostitution, but
Yeah...
yeah. Got enough horns there. Dude, this thing better be called either Horny or Hornsley. I don't care which. I don't care which.
I'm just
So my
imagining
chat
Wander's is
says,
going to be
I
called the
want you to
Megamaw or
bird
something.
my babies.
I think Ladybird would have a problem with that.
Meh.
Yeah, so what was it?
I mean, part of my legacy is siring as many bastards as I possibly can, so.
But that would imply.
Yes, it would.
I mean, that's just what people of my status do.
You sure you're not stuck in the 1800s somewhere?
It is my noble duty to sire as many bastards.
Oh,
I
that's
thought
Sure
bastards-
that the court remains healthy.
I thought that they were fatherless, though. So that means
No.
that they were from illegitimate.
No.
Bastards are people or are kids who are born out of wedlock.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
There's no such thing as a
Bred.
fatherless child.
That's well.
I know, but they would call them that.
Not yet.
Archaically.
Yeah,
Archaically, they would.
right.
Yeah, so what was it? So
Anyway, tell us more about Wander.
okay.
And why he got on your nerves.
Yes,
Um,
embarrass
Brian.
Wander more.
Yep.
So let's see.
Wander.
I mean,
He's just sitting there taking it at
Sometimes.
this point. I think he's just kind of giving up.
one thing
Yeah.
that we would like to do is
I mean,
go out to
I
eat.
egg on Shell a lot, so.
Yeah. We would like to
It's
go out
fine,
to
keep
eat with
going.
all of our art friends. And as mentioned before, being in the art major, it was probably one of the few classes or majors at our school that was predominantly female. Our school is well renowned for having a 2/3 male to female, 2-to-1 male to female ratio. So yeah, it was interesting because it was the roles were not just reversed, but it was even like compounded in the opposite direction within the art major. Because would you say there were maybe 4 guys, maybe 3? No, in our class, but then there were at least 2 to 3 times as many girls. Wander. Okay, so he's not.
He's
he's
giving
not.
up at this point.
He's
just
not
like,
keeping track of it. So yeah, we would all be hanging out, and it would just be, gaggle of girls and him and maybe one other guy on very rare occasions, and so that was interesting. We had a couple of close friends, and then there were all the like peripheral friends. Though I knew a lot of our friends from the cosplay troupe as well. So I was hanging out with them a lot. Huh?
Where did Wander? Oh, never mind. I thought he might have
What?
jumped up to the top of the 1,000 pipe. Just
No.
trying to get away from everything.
I'm still here.
He's
I'm
still
just not
putting,
talking
He's adjusting the
because-
teeth on
Hey, Effie,
his
can you delete this pipe for me?
mashing monster.
Delete this pipe for me.
Yeah, so what was the interesting thing? Oh yeah, so then it was after your get-together breakup with like 2 different exes or something. It was a messy business. Wander didn't really have the best self-esteem back then. But
Wow.
he admitted
That's a hell of a statement.
Oh, goodness. Okay, note to self, don't paint the pipes. Yeesh.
Why?
Sorry about that. So
That's why.
all the
Oh, you
while,
can paint them?
Huge
How do you
lag.
paint
Yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Oh! Ah.
Lag,
All-
yeah,
Oh.
lag spike.
all the while he had supposedly been holding out some kind of feeling for me, but I was still pretty standoffish, and I would get I wouldn't necessarily say frightened, but I get uncomfortable very easily.
Nice.
If he got
Wait a
too
second.
close or whatnot. So when he started taking me out on what I would consider to be our first dates, even though we weren't dating, it was things like walking around the park or going to the skating rink that was on campus and such. I started to realize then and there that, hey, this is peculiar. I've never had just one-on-one get-togethers with a guy before. I mean, I would
Those are
usually
called
always
dates.
Well, that's the thing. The only times I'd ever gone out with guys before was when we were with our parents. It was like our family friends going over and playing video games or like with toys with our family friends' sons. So, And whenever I was in a group with guys in it, as I said, it would be a group. So there would be probably an even ratio of girls to guys and such, and we were all just watching movies and playing video games.
Oh, crap!
What'd you do?
Somebody saved my pig.
What?
I have to save all of our builds.
Oh, did you? Oh, you did it.
I screwed
You
the
did
pooch.
it. Yeah, you did.
Where'd you?
Oh, yeah, at least mine's saved.
What'd
give me
you?
1 second,
What'd
I'll
you?
see mine.
Skradoodle bird?
I clipped out of the world.
I mean, we
Above?
can just load back in. It's not gonna be a problem.
No,
The
but
three
we
fights.
have to
Oh,
we have to
sideways?
save. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah. give me
are
1
you falling forever or?
Yeah, I'm falling forever. That's the issue.
Oh.
Yeah, 1 second.
I
Just
can
real quick,
restart. We
put
can
the
restart.
corner two things
It's.
up.
I don't think it's ruined anything for you guys. Just
No,
let's
it's
just
Bird-
restart.
Well, it's ruined it for me.
Bird can't
I
get
I
back.
Can't play
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, you can
It's okay.
restart your game.
No, you
Oh,
can't.
Well, I said
Calling
it
give me a
Mr.
second,
Munch.
but alright.
And so
Okay.
what was it? I accidentally threw a frisbee into your face.
Yeah, we were just sitting around talking, and then
There you
she's
go,
like,
mid.
"Catch!" and then there's a frisbee just smashing into my glasses.
That was terrible. I'm sorry about that. There was also a time we went to the forest.
Okay, are you
and
guys done saving?
I proclaimed that I would
Somebody
catch.
saved my pig, right?
I already
I'll
did.
save it. I'll save it.
Okay,
I already
You
did. Yep.
I declared that I would catch a snake for him, and he did not believe me. And then I caught a garter snake. Yeah, it was a cute garter snake. But Wander likes to point out that it urinated all over me. The poor thing. It's because it was scared to death. But I released it soon after.
Are we not
and-
gonna end the server?
We are.
Or...
We are.
Okay.
I was just waiting for you guys to be done. Batbeard, are you good?
I'm out. I'm trying to
Okay.
restart.
Okay.
What's the okay about?
I don't know. How did
Are we
this get on
we
my
done
phone?
with
I
the
got-
relationship stories?
Okay, well, let's go back
Why
to
don't
how
just getting
you.
embarrassed?
I mean, I lived it.
Yeah. So then it was a couple months later. So this was, I think, maybe it was April. So I had my huge convention, and I had been preparing for this convention for months. I was Samus Aran in our cosplay troupe chess match. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Essentially what we did was we each dressed up as a character, and we were set as pieces on a chessboard. You guys are familiar with cosplay
I feel like
chess,
Shell
right?
should just record like the soundbite clip for this and just play it whenever we need like a refresher on how Shell and I got together.
Yeah.
Come on, let's talk about people that didn't have game. I don't want to hear about how
Okay.
we met.
But they had asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Also-
did.
Somewhat.
Also,
Shell.
your first attempt didn't succeed completely.
Well, no.
Okay.
Because,
We were planning on meeting up after her cosplay chess, and she more or less was just like, I see her, and I was gonna be like, yeah, that was a nice performance. She's like, go away, and I'm like, righto, bye.
then again, I was also dying in that costume. Imagine wearing, a couple pounds worth
She
of
gets
armor
really mean
and
the moment
a
she's
helmet
uncomfortable.
that was fogging up.
She's like, it's
and-
cold. Fuck you, and I'm like, ah.
Well, that's because I was wearing spandex. Half the costume was spandex under the armor, which I couldn't get out of for the whole
Well,
day.
spandex breathes, doesn't it?
Well, that was the problem. It was a very chilly April.
Oh.
Oh.
So when you walked, our campus was renowned for just having gusts of air that would just whoosh down the quarter mile, as they called it, and it was quite forceful and quite chilly. So I wasn't in the best of moods, and I apologized to him later for that. But I started blabbing his ear off as usual on IM, and he seemed upset about the fact that I had turned him away. And
You were a dick. It wasn't just like turned away. It was
Wow,
just like,
not even. Not
I
even
know.
Just cushioning it.
I was.
I ain't the kind of guy that cushions these things.
I mean, I was still
But
skeptical
then you
about
won't have nothing for the pushing.
what we were because
You would know.
I was afraid that we were getting
Alright.
too close or that you wanted something more from me, but I was surely not prepared for it. I'd never even thought of the concept of dating. So it
All
was
right.
just, it was
The boys
difficult
were too
for me.
stupid. I never even thought of the concept of dating.
Well, okay. So admittedly, I was also really, really, really frightened of the physical aspect of it. I had pretty much.
Cooties.
It wasn't just cooties.
It was cooties.
I was convinced that guys only wanted women for physical pleasure for a very long time. I mean, when you're
Cooties.
brought up with the whole, school rhetoric of, pregnancy and stuff. No, just, I didn't want to get involved with that. Also, I mean, having a somewhat having a somewhat religious
Mr.
upbringing
Munch, come
also
back. Bird, thank you.
also makes you.
I didn't need to do it at all. He's stuck on a rock.
It's okay. I think I need to increase the couch for Mr. Munch, because...
Having a slightly religious upbringing also makes you frightened of this prospect of becoming intimate with anyone because, suddenly you're a pariah or everything like that. So I had taken my vows of chastity.
And I thought Batbeard had it bad.
Huh?
And I thought Batbeard had it bad.
Yeah, it's pretty close, but the thing is, by the time I was like 16, I was
Coming
very
of
rebellious.
By the time a young man's fancy had
So like,
turned to
yeah,
that
all of that's
flesh.
frightening, but it's also like that forbidden fruit type thing. Where,
But
yes,
it's
yes.
also, I think for girls, it's different in the sense that, I don't want to sound stereotypical here, but
Too late.
it seems like, girls are supposed
late.
to hold out and,
Too late.
wait for the one kind of thing, and guys,
that
it's,
is the pressure, isn't
guys, they're like rubbing each other's elbows together, being like, "Did you get her?"
I did not think that she was gonna say elbows.
Neither did I.
Oh, as you can
Women
tell,
need to hold out, but guys are just rubbing all over each other.
I'm in
Okay, hey, dude, get out your elbow. This is one of those stories.
oh man,
I do this
And
professionally, guys.
I'm sorry.
All right, Bird,
This
your
is-
pig
you
thing
see-
is
You see, being around
by the
Wander
way.
Come
has
back.
been a terrible
I didn't think I was
influence.
gonna sink as much time into this build as I have so far.
Yeah, me neither.
Or rather, I didn't think that anything would happen. I'm so sorry for us all.
As you can tell, being around Wander for the past 6 years has been a somewhat peculiar influence on me because now I always end up
She's
being
like
the
my mother. She
inept,
just shows up
goofy
and
one.
starts telling
That
stories.
what?
I remember when my kids were in diapers. Let me tell you about how they shat themselves. She is going to be that kind of mother.
Oh, jeez.
When Shell has kids,
Oh.
she is going to be like, here's the picture of little Timmy.
Whoa,
Covered in
wait.
turds.
If I were to, they would also be yours. What are you saying about me only having them?
I'm not going to have any pictures of them soiling themselves.
Why would I take pictures of them doing that?
That's just how this feels.
Oh, that's getting really awkward. Where were we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, societal pressures, social pressures, somewhat religious pressures, being anxious about even the thought of dating, of intimacy. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was
Shelter?
No, I wasn't sheltered. The funny thing was my parents, they go, we weren't feeding
Yeah,
this
she did
stuff
this to
you."
herself.
I did this to myself.
Yeah.
It was self-imposed because I didn't know if I wanted to take some kind of peculiar moral high ground, but a lot of it was I did see a couple of my friends get hurt really badly back in middle school and high school, and I didn't want to.
Okay.
What?
We need to wrap this up.
Okay, so in any case,
This is quite
after-
the epic at this point.
after the cosplay stuff, I noticed that he was upset about things, and I go, you know what? I've been thinking about this a lot lately. You've been taking me out on walks. We've been eating out alone together. The there was the kite fly. Well, no,
That
the kite
one,
flying
yeah.
came later. There was the ice skating rink and everything else, and I mean, we had also had a lot of discussion.
Block. Yeah.
We had a lot of discussions about my fears
That's
and my
better.
views on intimacy and stuff. Like, it was
Actually-
odd because he was trying to convince me to see it in a different manner, which was bizarre because he was asking me for relationship advice. Actually, a lot of people asked me for relationship advice back when I was in school, despite the fact I'd never been in a relationship. It was weird. And what?
I'm gonna ban this topic in the future, Bird.
Well, I only have to
Shell
tell
hears
it once.
this shit like she's got like radar.
What?
You know, Wander, if there's
You don't
one
know what's
thing...
been going on in my chat, Wander. You don't know what's been going on there.
Are people having a very good time?
No.
Everybody's just sitting there complaining.
Yes.
Wait, they want me to leave? They want me to go? I can't.
Seems like it.
No.
Okay.
I think we're ready to race.
Yeah, part of it is
Yeah.
like I'm ready to race, and I'm just like I don't. When I tell Shell to hurry up, she's
Here we
like,
go.
"All right, 10
Okay.
more minutes, gotcha." And
Long
it's like,
story short, I asked if he liked me.
Sir,
He
third.
said he did. I'm like, oh, I mean, that's nice and all, but I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship yet. Maybe after the summer passes, I'll give you an answer. And he's like, okay. And then after the summer passes, we were sort of awkward because we hadn't been in contact with one another. And then we played Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles and
No.
It
had
keeps going.
outings
keeps
again.
going.
Ow.
And
Shell.
finally, we were watching Beast Wars, and he put his head on my shoulder, and I was
Oh!
like, and I was, because I noticed he was scooching closer to me on the couch at the change of every episode, but I decided then and there that I wasn't gonna refuse him a second
Wow,
time.
Wander, you were very forward with her.
Yes.
Slowly scooching forward on the couch. It's like, I don't want to get noticed. I don't want to get noticed. I don't want to get noticed. Okay, she noticed. Crap. What do I do?
And the first thing out of my mouth was, I forgot. I thought you forgot.
Shell.
about
Long
us.
story short, we've gone past long story short twice now.
And the rest is history. I mean,
Wander,
Yeah.
quick, go and unplug her.
Okay.
nose.
Well,
I did.
I can't unplug
right.
her. I just booped her in the nose.
And-
Should be good
and
enough.
then I listened-
No, it's still going.
Plug the microphone. For goodness sake, Wander.
Yeah, I can do that. All right, it's done. It's gone.
Oh.
You're
Bye.
complaining in the background.
All right, are we ready to race?
Yes.
Yep.
Make sure you're pointed in a non-inopportune direction.
Yeah.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh, right. Gotta make Mr. Munch Munch go.
Is that,
Huh.
is that,
I'm not going
is
as
that as fast as I can
far as I
go?
thought I was, and also, god damn it, Effie.
What?
Okay.
This thing's hard to control. All right.
And you're rubbing all up on my pig, dude.
Don't rub his pig.
Yeah, he's rubbing my pig like
Gross.
mad. It's really, really gross, and I do not appreciate it.
Well, this was
Whoa.
the end. This was the
You
end
just
of Mr.
threw me
Munch.
off my vehicle.
I just turned around.
Ah,
now,
damn
now
it.
you're just being. Okay, come on. Is that Shell
Wow.
complaining?
Yes.
Yes.
She really likes soapboxing our relationship because she's so proud of it.
No, I don't. It's just we've never been asked this question.
We
before.
have.
Proud of it. No, no, I'm not.
Wow, that's kind of harsh.
Okay. Well,
Well,
you guys,
still
you guys,
going.
I'm stuck on Effie. He
Well, that's your
scroodled my
fault.
pig. No, it's not.
Oh,
My pig was doing great until Effie came
Oh,
along and tried
Effie.
to bury it.
He touched the ground. He got kicked out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Effie's
bounced.
DQ'd.
Yeah. Kicked out of the vehicle.
I mean, no, he can keep going if he can catch up. I don't
Oh,
know of
okay.
a single challenge where we've ever done it where you can't get out and right your vehicle. It's
True.
just that's also usually an extreme time penalty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I keep getting bounced out for no apparent reason.
What the fuck? That's
All
not a
right,
block
there we
I
are.
picked there. There we go. Well, this is a really relaxing victory.
Yeah, no kidding. You basically just blew through everybody else.
Mr. Munch is Mr. Munch is actually really easy to control.
Really?
Yeah, if you switch to your hammer, by the
Go
way,
Mr. Munch.
makes it a little bit
Yeah.
easier. Yeah. I mean, do we want to do a round where everybody has a Mr. Munch?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
What's the problem with your
Probably have
guys'?
to.
Did you just have like really low speed?
I just kept getting
yeah.
glitched out.
Well, for me, I have a lot of lag, so like if I go any faster, I just lag.
Yeah,
right out.
that's the issue. Is I can't go
Oh,
very
really?
fast. Due to
Yeah.
like, I'll clip through the ground and it'll be impossible to control.
Okay.
he sounds
much.
like a dog right now, whining to go out.
Yeah, my character actually isn't even registering the usual like you're going too fast like bouncy thing. My character's just like
Weird.
sitting here really comfortably.
Oh, that's nice. I don't have that luxury.
Yeah, neither do I.
Well, you know, we were really, really mean, so
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, let's do a round of all Mr. Munches. How about?
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
right.
Alright, I'm gonna abandon Pigsley here.
All right,
I'm
my
gonna save
gross
it.
alligator face is done.
If it wouldn't kick me out, like, it'd be fine.
that is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know why I keep getting kicked out either. Like,
Okay, I'm on my way back.
Okay.
Okay.
One time I didn't talk to Ladybird for like 3 months.
why?
Didn't like that.
What was the reason?
My phone broke and I lost all my contacts for an entire summer.
Oh.
And so basically I went from texting her every day to complete cold shoulder.
Wasn't
And I
this
had
like
no way of notifying her.
wasn't this in
Oh,
college and aren't you two
email?
from the same state?
Yep. But I was visiting somewhere else for a summer.
Oh.
Email.
Yep. I didn't have her email address.
Oh.
I had no way of contacting her.
So
And so
when-
she was just like, you know, what the hell?
So when you finally found her after 3 months of no Ladybird, did she like fuse?
Nah, she thought I was a flaky douche.
Oh, how'd you
Yeah.
fix that one?
I said, my phone got washed. Sorry.
What'd she say?
Just like, oh, okay, here's my number again. I was like, cool.
Now, was this before or after you started dating?
Just way before.
Oh, okay.
If it was
That helps a
after,
bit.
that would have been pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the part of the story that Ladybird doesn't know is that I probably actually could have contacted her if I tried a lot harder. But I was actually way, way, way too self-conscious to actually do it.
I was gonna say like,
You
please
realize
don't
she
say
can
drunk. Please don't say
hear
drunk.
you,
Like, don't
right?
don't have like Bird Bender story time.
Oh, you want to hear Bird Bender stories?
Sure, let's hear a Bird Bender story.
Okay.
Oh, we could always go back to the fact that Bird seems to drunk text the sweetest things to Ladybird. That
Oh
would be
no, not that Bird Bender story.
Oh, Ladybird, you need to come over here and explain it.
No. We've just sat through
Not
a
this time.
very similar experience. Please, for the love of God.
Bird, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, no.
Wait a
Mr.
second.
Munch
Wanda,
away.
you've got to be on a seat. No, you're
Nope.
not.
No,
No,
I'm
he's
not. I just have
How is
really.
that stable?
I just have
Mr. Munch
really.
is very secure in himself.
Yeah, Mr. Munch is really freaking good.
Wow.
Like,
Jeez.
Effie, you were all smug about like whatever you'd done, and I'm just.
God damn, Wander, way to just.
Well, I was
poop all
just
over
glad
Effie.
it was working. Like I was.
No, Effie, you were like, I'm not telling you guys shit on how I built this, and I was just like, Jesus, dude.
Well, I explained it to Batbeard. Or tried to, but then
Dude,
you said,
Mr.
"Oh no,
Munch
it's
is
too complicated."
One
Blah.
smooth,
So-
solid,
Yeah,
Lando Calrissian-esque mofo.
Man.
yeah. The only problem is if he hits a rock, it's a little hard to
Yeah.
maneuver off, especially if he manages to mount said rock. Mr. Munch loves mounting rocks.
Yeah.
I didn't have to. Wait for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you have it wired up?
Just the
Super
same way I
basic.
do.
Yeah,
They
keep
just,
it.
like made it better.
Keep it simple, stupid.
There's Shell again.
Yeah, she wants the
Yeah.
validation of nobody hates you, Shell. Too bad.
Well, nobody does hate you, Shell. It's just you prattle on a lot.
Aha!
What the hell? You usurped me, you asshole!
I am the master of Munch. The one problem
You
is.
just threw me from your throne.
Wait, shit!
People
I
are
thought I
asking
turned
if
it
that's
off.
Ladybird in the background. No, Ladybird is not a
Huh.
Pomeranian.
Well then.
Ah! Oh.
Whoa.
It's just an extension of the Mau Maus.
God, go away! No, go away now.
You know
So,
full
Shub-
well
We've
No,
discussed
when you
this-
start going
you
Mau Mau.
partake in
Oh
Mau
my
Maus.
God, you are sweaty as
Okay,
hell.
so
Go away.
sorry. So she's at this point some sort of dog feline
Rodent.
hybrid, I guess.
She's a rodent. She has rodent teeth, rodent mannerisms.
Oh,
Robot birdcatcher.
purple bird.
I punched the munch, dude. I punched
Bird.
the munch.
He punched the munch and it ruined his.
Well then.
That's pretty great.
I think it's the wrong car. I think I'm doing the wrong car.
Okay, you got
Careful
what
when you
should
punch
be
that
doing
much.
Instead of being
I'll just get the weapons.
being
whatever.
remorseful over the fact that you took over the microphone for like an hour.
Well, I do feel bad that my high school self sounded really, really, what is it?
No, that's the
elitist.
best part. What are we talking about?
My
What are you
high
talking
school-
about?
That was the best part.
My high school
Oh,
self was
roll, yeah.
unnecessarily elitist, and it was terrible.